This is a test. Testing. Jacob, go ahead and do a check for me.
This is Jacob. This is a test. Testing. Test.
From right there? From right there,
here.
talk? No,
Right
from
here.
you right there, talk.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I just want to test how
Test it.
how well it picks.
Like right there.
Sit there and talk.
I'm sitting here. Testing.
Test,
Yeah.
test it.
Test.
Thank
Yeah, episode 2.
Yeah.
Or for bits and pieces. This is for bits and pieces.
Some more bits and pieces for you. Yeah, here's some more bits and pieces for you.
It must have been those fries from In-N-Out, huh?
Yeah, they're okay.
They're okay?
No, I enjoy the fries.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
All two of them?
Yeah, well, welcome to the Bits and Pieces Show. I'm your host, Ben,
And this is Jacob. My name's Jacob.
and we're here with a special guest today, Lewis.
Luis.
Don't you
I
hate,
feel like my NPR voice.
don't you hate that when that happens? Like, okay, so
Luis.
tell me what the theory is on this, because every time, like, sometimes when we'll go out to eat, Luis always uses
Oh,
David's name.
yeah.
So I always kind of wonder, is like, I wonder if because when he tells the hostess his name, if she messes it up, like if she says Lewis instead of Luis, is that why?
Yeah, so normally, it's just, you have to say my name a certain way. It's got a Spanish accent, you've got to say it, Luis. But people don't do that. They see it and they say Lewis. Or they think it's a lady and they say Louise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, if shouldn't we have an O in there?
Oh, you're getting too smart. You're getting too technical here.
Okay.
You're thinking. No, so I'll say David.
Yeah.
That's the name that I can put it under. David.
Yeah.
Even if David's not there, that's my go-to name.
That's the go-to.
David.
You can't mess it up. I mean,
Yeah.
How many people mess up David?
Debbie.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
It's not Denise.
Oh, Denise.
Yeah. So today's episode, it sounds like we want to talk a lot about the Avengers, Marvel Phase 1 through 3.
Avengers.
Yeah, Age of Ultron.
Age of James Spader.
Yeah, but just kind of like how
Age of Blacklist.
how it ties into, how Avengers ties into the greater universe they've set up, including things like Netflix has Daredevil. They've got the Defenders series coming up, and kind of how they're all working together. Yeah, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist.
I sort of read up on her. I was like, man, I didn't even know she was a superhero. I just thought she was,
So what does she do? What does she do?
So yeah, we'll start with that. So the Street Defenders, the street class hero, somebody that doesn't have superpowers, but is out there fighting like a vigilante style. So we've got Daredevil, which aired.
Just a blind guy with sticks, man. I was like, he's more than that.
I can see. So you mentioned Jessica Jones. That one, they started filming. They've cast the character something Ritter, Kristen Ritter.
Okay.
She was on Breaking Bad. She was on the Bee in Apartment 23.
Mm-hmm.
She was the Bee.
Oh, the Bee.
Yeah. So what did you read up on her? The character,
she is
not Kristen Ritter.
No, she is. No, she
Not
is
her,
a superhero, like legitimate powers and everything.
So everything I said, just throw out the window. She has superpowers.
No, well, yeah, all of them have superpowers in one way or another. It's just that she's the one that has actual, like, she could fly and
really
fire.
She could
like,
fly,
energy blasts and stuff like that. But she's like almost like Ms. Marvel.
Okay,
but not quite.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if they would retcon her and make her Mrs. Marvel.
Maybe
because Kristen Ritter's a pretty big name.
And then there's Luke Cage, who has adamantium skin.
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that he had, like, those, like, wraps on his hands or whatever.
No, but yeah, he has adamantium skin, which, like...
Oh, that's
like, he went versus...
okay.
I was looking it up right now, too.
Yeah, I was like...
He went versus the Hulk, like, he couldn't get hurt, but, like, everything was being, like, internally damaged.
Yeah.
So they tried, like, in the comic... for World War Hulk.
That's Kristen Ritter right there. She looks like a box of Neapolitan ice cream.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what's Canadian?
On Google, it just shows color bars.
Like,
like brown, red, vanilla.
This is what she looks like.
Yeah, that's Kristen Ritter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently this isn't her first rodeo with superheroes.
Really?
Yeah.
And then there's Iron Fist. He is like he's from this Shangri-La type place where he trained, and he could channel powers, but I don't know if they're gonna retcon it like because I know in the comics he could only use his powers once, or he has to he could only use it once every so often. But in the more
They'll
recent,
probably do that if it's a series. They're gonna make it so he can recharge.
yeah, but the more recent one he could still use it, but he could use like lesser versions of it, like that. And then Ghost Riders, I think, is one of the Defenders as well.
But they didn't announce a Ghost Rider series, but he might show up when they do the actual joined up.
Yeah.
Because Ghost Rider, he needs.
They announced it though. They did. The Marvel now has Blade. Now has
Ghost Rider,
and a third one.
I mean, part of that was Daredevil getting Daredevil back.
Yeah.
That was New Line. I think it was New Line.
Yeah, New Line Cinema.
Yeah.
What was that third series? I don't remember what it was. I don't remember, unfortunately.
Yeah, so like you've got this street level people who some have powers, some have just enhanced abilities due to blindness, so their hearing's better. They've been able to turn on like sort of like echolocation stuff.
Right.
We've all seen Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I like how that was
thoughts,
handled too, because
yeah.
When you watch the show, you're kind of like, okay, how are they going to handle like those certain powers? And we all know how bad that last movie was with Daredevil. So, but I thought it was really cool. They didn't use a whole lot of CGI for anything really. I don't think in that series, and so just like looked like they just kind of honed and focused in whenever he was doing that.
Yeah,
that
it's all
sense.
like visual or cool, the pun, visual and audio cues when he's using it.
Which is great.
There was a scene though where they showed where he had said it is that everything looks like the world is on fire.
Yeah,
and they did show something like that, which was cool, but you don't need to see it every time.
Exactly, and I think that's what really works well for that show. But of course, keeping in the theme of everything, it's here you have like these huge movies with all these superheroes coming together, and that's kind of like the higher tier of what's going on in the Marvel universe, and then here we are like on the street level, like. Still very dark, very gritty, very good. I mean, it was a great portrayal, I think, of Daredevil and Matt Murdock, and the confliction that you see with the character, and you can kind of relate to that. Here's somebody who wants to clean up the streets, but can't do it within the system of the law. So I thought that was really great, like how it wasn't like an episode thing that you kind of see with superhero shows, like, oh, here's the next bad guy, or here, like with the Flash or with Arrow. It was just a long, drawn-out story of here's how Matt Murdock became Daredevil, and then the introduction of his biggest enemy.
Well, I think having it on Netflix, that was the best thing for it, because essentially it was a movie. It was one movie, one cohesive story, and they were able to do that because they know when you watch it on Netflix, you're watching back to back. You're watching 2 or 3 episodes at a time. So they need to have that one story because you're not taking a week off or 4 months off in between 2 parts of a season. Yeah, so that worked well. But going back to like the overall kind of theme here which is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The events of the first Avengers movie directly relate to Daredevil. How it's affected that part of the city.
Right, yeah.
How
destruction in Hell's Kitchen and things like that. They do reference that in the episodes.
How even Fisk, he came to power and he was able to take over, and he attacked it in a real estate way because of so much was destroyed. He was able to attack everything, and so he's like this real estate mogul making money. And
even the Owlsy guy goes like, let them destroy the city. It drives up our premiums.
Yeah,
so it's even more money. Like that.
So, and I really liked the way that they handled he was just going out there in like his Under Armour workout shirt and some pants and boots and some gloves. And he would cover his face, and just the way he would kind of like, even Rosario Dawson's character says, you need armor. You need to put something to protect yourself. Better. Yeah. So he started adding padding, and then eventually when he met the and if you haven't seen the series yet, these are not, I wouldn't consider them spoilers, but you really should watch it.
Yeah.
He had that guy that was making the bulletproof or knife proof whatever suits for Fisk. He had him make a suit. Yeah, and then that's how he got the suit, because I was really wondering how he's going to get that suit. At first, I thought it was going to be intervention from S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought maybe
somebody would come in.
What's his name? The main guy from Shield.
Coulson.
I thought Coulson was going to meet up with him because Coulson kind of designed Captain America's suit.
Yeah.
Because he was obsessed with them. So I thought maybe he would help out and Shield would make it for him, or we'd see Fury pop up. But yeah, it was just unrelated. Yeah.
Right.
But it sort of goes back to the comics too, because that guy's character is in the comics.
Good. Yeah.
He basically designs and makes most of everyone's costume.
Mm-hmm.
Like like he would give discounts to Spider-Man when he ever gets his stuff messed up. But he even has big people like Doom show up and this is that I need this mended or I need this refitted. That's
wow.
So he deals with both heroes and villains.
Yeah.
So
Which
he's
just like he did in the series here. Yeah.
He's older in the comics, but it's an interesting take to put on this one.
Yeah.
Time's up.
So from Daredevil ending, and he's basically, Fisk is in prison. Basically, everything seems like it worked out, but we know season 2 is coming, so there's lots of other potential storylines that can come up from this. And I mean, I have to assume after the second Avengers movie, something can tie into that again. There's a lot going on with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He had a relationship with Black Widow for a while too, so I don't know if they're ever kind of bring that up.
Yeah.
With Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
they'll bring Elektra in.
Yeah, Elektra's gonna have to come in at
they'll
some
bring
point.
in the Hand because Nobu was part of the Hand.
Right.
Like they didn't mention where he belonged to, but
yeah,
assuming he's from the Hand because of his outfit.
And Stick is still out there, so they may bring. Stick
I
back.
have a feeling he's gonna come back probably right in the beginning of season 2.
Because you don't know who he was talking to. He was like in a room with somebody.
He had all these scars on him.
Yeah,
didn't recognize him. So
Bullseye.
No, but Bullseye's the villain though. So it's like
it seems like Stick though is working both angles.
Well, it's just that it's like they said whether he's prepared for what's to come. It's like Stick's like I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So going from Daredevil, going into Avengers: Age of Ultron. So Avengers: Age of Ultron, the sequel to Avengers, but really the sequel to every other Marvel movie that's come out so far.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I was telling Jacob when we got into the theater, because both of us saw it together. I feel like I wasn't really hyped up for this film. Like I felt.
Why?
I felt like it's just filler. Like I had seen so many trailers, and I was like, "Yeah, okay." It's this is like the jumping point to the next stuff. Like because like shortly after you see all these trailers, and Marvel's like, "Hey, here's the rest of what we're gonna do."
Yeah, here's movies, like 5 or 6 more movies for the next 5 years.
And I was like, "Oh, Civil War. That's the one I really want to see." So I guess I just didn't think anything about this movie going in. I think initial things I was always worried about was how are they going to handle Scarlet Witch. I don't really know anything about Ultron. I mean, other than I'm glad that they picked James Spader for it, and it was an amazing performance to see him do that with Ultron. I think he did an incredible job. Plus, you have to think that looking at his background, he hasn't done anything like this before. Like, he's not used to probably doing any of that motion capture and stuff and how that works. So I was glad how that turned out. The thing I'm disappointed about, I think, with Ultron is that we really didn't get to see the development of who Ultron was. Everything was very fast paced, very quick. Here he is. Here's his dream. That's it. Boom, he's gone, and that's it. A Vision I thought was really good. That was handled pretty good. But yeah, I mean, there was really, if Tony Stark's the creator here, like there was really not a whole lot of interaction with him and Ultron in any capacity throughout the film.
Yeah, what we had talked about before, just how rushed it felt.
Right.
Getting to the point where they had to make Ultron. Like, it just kind of like, it was just going. Like, the movie starts right off the bat.
They had that montage where they were just, like, trying to do the whole, like, get to work.
The 3 days in the science lab, drinking coffee. And
give me 3 days. But, so what we had talked about, me and Ben, for me, I didn't really like Iron Man 3. Just the way they handled Mandarin, the way they handled, what's the technology?
Extremis.
Extremis, yeah. the way they handled all of that, they changed a lot of it from the original comic, kind of the original story, and just Mandarin in general. That's not Mandarin at all.
No.
So for me, Iron Man 3 should have been Tony Stark kind of coming up with the idea of Ultron and how he created all the sentient robots. I mean, they started that with the 42 different suits. They started
the whole thing with the suit sort of attacking them while he was asleep.
Yeah, exactly. Like, to me, that right there, they needed to explore that in Iron Man 3. And then at the end or halfway through, he could have fought the Mandarin or an enemy with Ultron helping him. So in that sense, Ultron is the 42 suits being controlled by Jarvis or whatnot. And then towards the end of it, it starts to design itself, just like in the comics. And so that movie would have been focused on that. And he might have seen incidents like the incident where they're in bed and the suit kind of protects him.
Yeah.
So that would have been kind of like a start of that. And in this movie, the continuation of that. And then logically, it decides that the Avengers are a threat, or humans are a threat.
Yeah,
so to me, that's what should have happened. So they could have really explored Ultron.
I felt like there was a disconnect as soon as we got in there. We get into this heavy action sequences and stuff, which is great. I mean, because it shows everybody getting back together. It's like, okay, we have a kind of an idea that the Avengers have been super busy, since we last saw them. They're cleaning up the world. We're doing our usual thing, but then all of a sudden it's kind of like, well, Hulk's got to tone it down, and we got to give him the lullaby. Instead, it's like, what? When did all this happen? There's really kind of no frame of reference for the audience for any of that. So
it felt like there was a Hulk movie that should have been in there.
Yeah,
that was never filmed.
I felt like I missed something. Like as soon as I got in there, and I was like, okay. And then of course the thing that kind of threw me was the relationship with Banner and Natasha, and that whole development over the course of the movie. I love Hawkeye getting a backstory and getting more development, but I don't know. It just didn't work for me for the Banner. I mean, because Banner, he's gonna run. Like that's what his whole thing has always been. To try and figure this whole thing out and try and stay away from everyone. We saw that through the film. Like he, Scarlet Witch got in his head and he destroyed that whole place out in Dubai or wherever they were. He's like, now everybody wants the Hulk. That guy's bad. He's no good for us in society and stuff. But that's what he was always trying to do throughout the film. So I think we needed a Hulk film at some point to kind of explain that. I don't know if they're going to do one with him.
They've set it up now at the end where he's flying away. It's like there is something that could happen there if they want to. It's not planned out at all. There is no Hulk movie in the scripts for the next few movies.
Yeah, he says that he splashed down somewhere, and he says that don't know where else he went. So it's like, how are they track him down now? So that's like, they have to set up what happened to him.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have a feeling that Black Widow can track him. Like, I have a feeling she might have placed something on him that he doesn't know about.
Yeah.
But she's just kind of waiting. She's just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
To kind of let him do his thing, and then she'll kind of come up on him when she's ready.
Right.
Yeah. But, I mean, I thought that the interactions that they had in the movie were great. Like, the way they played off each other, that was great. It just felt like, where did it come from? Like you said, like, they never showed this coming at all. Because she's so flirty with everybody, you don't really know.
Yeah, it's like, well, the best interaction I had was, he backhanded her while he was the Hulk, and he was about to crush her. And it's like...
Well, and also I often thought maybe that this was something that Black Widow was doing to try and keep Banner on track.
Yeah.
Like if they had created that lullaby and they had done things, maybe the assignment for Black Widow that only her and maybe Nick Fury knew is like, this is how you have to maintain Bruce somehow.
Yeah.
And this is how you do it. And you maybe be more flirty with him or try and get a little closer to him somehow. Because, that's what she is. She's a spy. She's, look what she did with Loki in the first movie.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe they were going to do something like that and kind of go somewhere.
She did sort of ask Fury about that too.
At the end, yeah. Did you always know?
Did you always know this was going to happen? It's just like,
he goes, you don't always know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Don't always know, but you get a feeling.
It was also good to see the cameos too.
Yeah.
We got to see, Nick Fury, which I knew he was going to be in there anyway, but War Machine we knew from the trailer.
Yeah, that was cool that he fought with them.
Yeah. Well, what would have made that part better too was how come Falcon didn't show up. I mean, they showed
At the end, he shows up.
I know,
Well,
but like
yeah.
during
Party,
the battle,
you know.
like
He was at the
that
party,
That
yeah.
would have been cool to see him during the battle because I was like, that surprised me. I was like, oh, War Machine's helping out. It would have been cool to see Falcon help out too.
Yeah.
And then they brought that little Easter egg about Bucky. They're still looking for him at the party. They him and Captain America have.
I missed that part.
Yeah, they have a little
good,
conversation about.
Yeah.
Some, you know,
It's
like
looking up all these dead ends about your missing friend.
Yeah. So that was cool. Scarlet Witch was great. I thought Quicksilver was. I mean, I don't know much about Quicksilver, other than we know that the two of them are Magneto's children.
In the comics, anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do that here, but
Yeah.
they called them
Enhanced. Yeah,
so,
not mutants.
Yeah, I mean, you knew somebody had to die.
They painted it like it was going to be Hawkeye.
Yeah,
The whole movie to the point where you knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy-handed. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Quicksilver's death didn't really do anything for me because he's just so quickly introduced, and you don't really have much of a connection with him. Whereas, you know, everybody thought, oh, it could have been Hawkeye because we've built up this whole story and his family, and you know, Fury set this all up for him outside of the Avengers, and of course the whole interactions with him and his wife, you know, and he feels like, and I think that was true in the comics too. Like they always felt like they were the weaker links of the Avengers because they're just human. Like you know, they're not a guy in a suit, not a god, not Banner who's unkillable at that
it's
point.
like we're on a floating island fighting an army of robots, and all I have is bow and arrow. You know?
Yeah. So
stabs himself in the head. End it.
yeah, we mentioned that too when we kind of talked last time. You thought it was kind of cheesy that he did the whole thing with Scarlet Witch with the arrow.
Well, they're like really playing to the audience this time because as soon as people were starting to get mind controlled by Scarlet Witch, I'm like, all right, here goes Hawkeye again. He's gonna get brainwashed and be controlled. And so they played that very heavy, and they were like, nope. That happened to me last time. Not gonna do it this time.
Yeah.
And then so he was like the one that didn't get brainwashed. And I think Black Widow said something to one of the other characters in relation to the first movie that was kind of like a complaint about the first movie, and she kind of made a comment about it.
Oh,
I can't remember. I think it was during the party, and I can't remember.
Huh.
Much
happened at that party.
That party was great.
Yeah, that party was great, but I felt it went by so quick. Like the audience got drunk at that party. Like what? All of a sudden, Ultron's coming out.
It's 2 a.m. already. Yeah. Oh man,
yeah.
I could lift that hammer.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was really cool how Vision can wield the hammer.
Yeah.
Because he's partly Thor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because he has the. What gem does he have? The mind? Chaos gem? Mind gem? Mind stone, yeah. I thought maybe that might have had something to do with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just thought because he has no...
Or, yeah,
he has no soul?
He has a synthetic being.
Yeah.
He has no... He believes what he says. I'm just here to help everyone.
Yeah.
Like, let's go help
so
everyone.
he's basically like a blank slate, and then
Yeah.
he's just on his own, kind of discovering his own morals and stuff.
And I couldn't tell if he was CG or if it was the dude in paint. I couldn't tell.
I don't know.
I think it's a
bit of both?
combination.
Mix of both.
Because I'm looking at it as like that's Paul Bettany's face.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And it's like not. It doesn't seem like CG. It doesn't look. You know.
Yeah. No. Not at all.
It's just that good.
Yeah.
Well, I know the cape was CG, and like I think the suit he was wearing was CG,
Yeah.
but it could have been his head, like painted red,
it's like in the
floating around.
in the interviews. It's like all I had to do was go in for the voiceover sections, grab my bag of cash and leave. Now I have to do stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When he played Jarvis, the whole time in every Iron Man movie, that was him. That was Paul Bettany playing Jarvis. Yeah. So Jarvis is alive now.
He's alive.
But it's just that I guess that it calls back when it shows the last group, the final shot of everyone. It goes back because like the Vision, Scarlet Witch,
Falcon,
and Iron Man. Now War Machine.
Yeah.
Created the Avengers.
Wait.
They're the
I missed the part at the end. when they all kind of got back together, and Captain America's like, "This is
Yeah.
all right, Avengers,"
It's
and it's about to say "Assemble," and they cut it off.
But it's like it does a callback because those 4 were original members before Captain America.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So, but it was
and Quicksilver was actually a member too.
But he wasn't the founding one though.
No, he wasn't the founding one.
But was War Machine in Iron Man's armor?
No,
Or in the War Machine
he's in the War
armor?
Machine.
But it's like
armor.
like to take place of Iron Man.
Well,
Yeah.
plus War Machine was Iron Man for a while when Tony was off on benders and just like out of it.
Yeah. Being himself in his armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, I thought it was cool seeing Vision pick up Scarlet Witch because, in the comics they were married. So that was cool. And then, of course, she had that crazy transformation at the end in a whole new outfit where it's like, what?
Blonde hair, new outfit, new makeup.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was just like, I'm floating down,
Like,
floating down.
I was like, oh, she's flying awesome. And then it was like, oh, she's in a whole new outfit.
Wait, did she fly at all in the movie?
No.
Yeah, so she must have like really developed her powers.
Yeah, that's what I thought was cool.
Mhm.
Because I just need to find another family member to die before we get more powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because she took out all those Ultron robots. Like when he died, she was like, ah!
Yeah, instead of just breaking apart, he just vaporized. They were just like,
Yeah.
And then I really was hoping to see Spider-Man at the end, because he's such a big part of the Avengers.
Oh, I'm sure they tried. I'm sure they tried to figure out some way to get it to tie in.
Just like, as everyone's coming down, he's like, hey, like he swings by.
Well, I don't think they were ready to introduce him, but I thought it would have been cool if maybe at least show Peter Parker, the person that's going to play him, in the end. Like, just show Peter Parker watching the news or reading the paper as he's making his suit, or mending his suit,
right.
like fixing it, like to say that he's been out there too, but he's so low level that people haven't noticed him yet.
Yeah.
Well, they in the first Avengers movie, they were going to add Oscorp Tower to it, to the skyline, but since that they already established it, so it's like they didn't have the time, or they couldn't just go back in there and add it. And then there was like this thing on YouTube where it was like a fake ending credit where it shows a guy like he's it's a window washer, he's washing windows, and then he wipes down one, and it's the Avengers Tower. In the background, or like it's being reflected.
Yeah.
And he does the other one, and it's Spider-Man. He's like, yeah, you missed a spot.
Oh, nice.
And then the guy's like, and he's like, you missed. And then the guy had like headphones, he couldn't take them off, and he was just like, and he's like, never mind.
Yeah. That would have been awesome too.
Yeah. But they debunked that one.
So that would have been great.
And so there was no second ending, right?
No.
Just that mid ending.
Yeah, they confirmed that it was only a mid credit.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we stayed for the whole.
Because I was like,
thing.
I was there on a date, and I'm like, I'm not staying until the end credits. We'll stay for this one, and then we're out. I'm like, I'll watch it again if I need to. If I missed something, if Spider-Man was at the end, then I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ben's like, nope, we stayed all the way to the end. Nothing.
I was like, they should have put that stupid Iron Man bathtub scene in the cave when he's like, or no, Thor. I'm sorry, Iron Man. Sitting there in the suit, like, hey, what are you guys doing down here, sipping champagne? They should have put the Thor cave scene in the middle of the credits, and then had Thanos at the end. Because if they really wanted that whole scene, I heard Marvel say that they wanted that scene in there to reference the gem, because at the end of his dream, like, he sees the gem or whatever. Then just do it at the end. It didn't need to be part of the movie.
Well,
I felt like that was a big waste of time.
The way they played it was that Thor had a vision which convinced him to stop them from destroying Vision.
Oh.
Yeah, so the whole reason that Thor did that final, like, electrical shock, like Frankenstein style, was because in his vision, he saw Vision, and he saw what would have happened. And then, do you remember, and I'm saying that on purpose, the whole time they're just like, I had a vision, vision, I had a vision, vision. And it was like, okay, we get it, his name's going to be Vision.
Yeah, alright, thanks, Thor.
It's like, well, we're going to call him Bob. Like, wait, not Vision?
Don't you have somewhere to be? I felt like Thor was just like, guys, I got somewhere to be.
Yeah, every 10 minutes,
like, yeah, you saw him like fight at the beginning, he's like, alright. And then like the next time he's like, something bothered me what that girl did to me.
I was triggered, man. I was triggered.
But yeah, so that was the playoff for that. But I agree, it could have been handled differently.
And you were telling me, because we both talked, that there was no Loki in this film, and you were saying like it
was scripted originally that he was part of it, which makes sense because it was his staff. His staff was part of that. The inside of it was the stone or the gem. And I know that I think it even got as far as maybe filming, and they just cut it out.
It's probably gonna be a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Because it's like they
So they said they brought in Tom Hiddleston to do some stuff.
And then but like reading these interviews, it says that he goes, you either have the farm scene or the whole dream scene. Which one do you want? We can't have both. Which one do you want?
Well, they had both, right?
Well, it's like they were supposed to show more
of the farm.
No, of the dream sequence.
Oh, they were.
Like they're supposed to show Loki there, and then it's sort of like a scene where he's like talking, and Thor turns away and turns back, and it's like his father, and he's still talking.
Oh
so,
yeah. You were telling me that.
Are you talking about the scene where Scarlet Witch kind of put a spell on him?
Yeah.
And he's in that party place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're supposed to show more of that.
Yeah. It seems like they should have. Yeah, Loki should have been in that scene for sure.
Because that sets up, Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then the whole scene just with Thanos, he's like, all right, I guess I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
The thing is, the gauntlet's in Asgard. So how do you end up
Ragnarok.
getting it? Yeah,
So I'm that's what I'm wondering is that scene of Thanos, are we going to see kind of like Pulp Fiction style go back into the next Thor movie and see how he gets it? Or do we just assume somehow he got it and we're not going to see how he got it?
Yeah. Because that's someone said that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will not set up Avengers 3.
Oh.
Yeah, so the way James Gunn is always playing Guardians is they're their own movies. It's all the same universe, but they're not designed to set up anything. They might, just because the first one was such a big success, they might set something up, but he doesn't want his movies to...
Well, they set up the stone.
They have to for that, yeah.
Because it's that... But then again, they may... It has... I don't know how they're going to do it, because... they dealt with the Nova Corps, but Thanos is gonna have to go to the Nova Corps
to get it,
yeah, and get the gem. So it's
or he'll control somebody to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have to introduce Nova.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know how they. It's either they're gonna have a major shift of how the Nova Corps looks, because they look very just sort of like policemen.
Yeah, I mean they have the general outfit. Exactly. They have the outfit. They have the general outfit, but I mean Nova could be something completely different, because in the comics now, Nova's a kid.
Really, I didn't know.
Yeah, he's a teenager, and Mrs. Marvel is a teenager. Miss Marvel, yeah, and then Vision is. So the Avengers are Nova, Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Vision.
Is that who they're gonna go with?
Not in the movie. No, it's gonna be Peter Parker.
Oh, okay.
And then Iron Man, but we don't know who's in the Iron Man suit.
Huh.
Oh yeah, but the movie it did its job.
Yeah, I mean,
it was to the point where I sort of felt like it's a little long, but
it should have been longer.
I started thinking it's a little, but it ended.
Yeah.
Oh man, if this movie, cool.
Man, it's just going. Okay, we're good.
I kind of felt like it should have been 20 minutes longer,
just to flesh out more characters. Like Ultron,
which I think is going to happen, because they had said there's an extended cut that'll probably come to the theater late summer.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so we'll see what they have, because they shot a lot of stuff.
It's just Thor in the pool drowning.
I don't know how to swim.
Thor, what are you doing?
Just 20 minutes of them trying to lift the hammer at that party.
They said they should have had one person. I was reading. It's it would be cool if Stanley was in the after credits or whatever. He's instead of being that soldier guy, he was just a janitor, and Thor's hammer is just sitting there on the table, and he's just cleaning up. He just lifts it, and he just lifts it, cleans underneath the hammer, and just puts it back down and walks away.
I don't know about that. That's cool sounding, but what would that imply?
Yeah.
Well, you saw Big Hero 6, right?
Yeah.
Stan Lee is that dude's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a superhero. Yeah. I'm just like, what?
Kabuki mask.